Imagine a scenario where a tiger, a symbol of raw power and solitary prowess, is unexpectedly introduced into the vast, humid expanse of the Amazon rainforest, a region renowned for its unparalleled biodiversity and home to formidable native predators like the jaguar, as well as colossal reptiles such as giant anacondas and caimans. In this wild hypothetical, the tiger must navigate a realm that is radically different from its native habitats in Asia. The dense, swampy jungle of the Amazon, with its intricate network of rivers, overgrown vegetation, and labyrinthine trails, poses unique challenges that test not only the tiger's physical abilities but also its adaptability, instinct, and sheer determination to survive. The central question that arises is whether the tiger's inherent hunting skills and strength are sufficient for it to become the dominant predator in this new environment, or if the native species will ultimately prevail in the intricate dynamics of the jungle. The Amazon rainforest is a world of extremes, a tapestry of towering trees, murky waters, and hidden dangers lurking behind every vine. For a tiger, accustomed to stalking through dense undergrowth in the forests of Asia, this environment presents both opportunities and obstacles. In its original habitat, the tiger uses stealth and power to ambush prey, relying on its ability to blend into the dappled shadows of the jungle canopy. The tiger's distinctive striped coat provides excellent camouflage among the sunlit and shadowed patches of vegetation, allowing it to get close enough to strike with lethal force. However, the Amazon's environment is characterized by a much higher level of humidity, an abundance of water bodies, and a level of biodiversity that is staggering in its complexity. The dense, often impenetrable foliage, combined with a network of rivers and swamps, challenges the tiger's ability to move freely and hunt with the same precision it once mastered. Its solitary hunting technique would be put to the ultimate test against agile, well-adapted prey and the ever-present threat of local predators that have evolved to thrive in these conditions. Among the most significant challenges the tiger would face in the Amazon is the presence of the jaguar, a big cat known for its power, stealth, and uncanny ability to adapt to various environments. Jaguars, with their robust, muscular build and compact frame, are the true rulers of the neo-tropical jungles. They have an extraordinary bite force, one of the strongest among all big cats, which allows them to pierce the skulls and shells of their prey with remarkable efficiency. In a head-to-head confrontation, the jaguar's prowess in climbing trees, swimming, and ambushing prey from unexpected angles gives it an edge in the complex terrain of the rainforest. The tiger, while larger and possessing incredible speed and strength, would have to contend with the jaguar's uncanny ability to navigate the vertical and horizontal dimensions of the Amazon. It would be forced to learn new tactics to outmaneuver a native predator that has evolved specifically for the challenges of this environment. Beyond the threat of the jaguar, the tiger would also face formidable reptilian adversaries. The giant anaconda, one of the largest snakes in the world, is a master of constriction in the watery realms of the Amazon. With its enormous girth and powerful muscles, the anaconda can ambush unsuspecting prey near riverbanks and within dense vegetation. If a tiger were to venture too close to water or try to pursue prey into the swampy areas, it could easily fall victim to the snake's lethal grip. The anaconda's ability to blend into the murky waters and thick underbrush would force the tiger to be constantly vigilant, reducing its window of opportunity to strike. Similarly, caimans, closely related to alligators, roam the rivers and wetlands of the Amazon, and their sharp teeth and armored bodies present additional hazards. A tiger's aggressive charge could be thwarted by the sudden, violent defense of a caiman lurking in the water, making the simple act of drinking or hunting near a river a perilous endeavor. The challenge for the tiger in this unfamiliar environment extends beyond direct confrontations. The Amazon's terrain itself is a complex, ever-changing maze of obstacles that can impede even the most powerful predators. Thick undergrowth, unpredictable river currents, and the seasonal floods that transform the landscape on a regular basis all conspire to limit the tiger's ability to employ its traditional hunting strategies. In the humid heat of the rainforest, a tiger's body might overheat more quickly than it would in its native, relatively drier habitats, necessitating frequent breaks in the shade and forcing it to hunt during cooler hours. This constraint could give an advantage to predators like the jaguar or the caiman, which are better adapted to the high humidity and fluctuating water levels of the Amazon. The tiger would have to significantly adjust its behavior, perhaps by becoming more nocturnal or by developing new methods of stealth and energy conservation to avoid succumbing to the oppressive environment. An equally important aspect to consider is the tiger's ability to establish territory and find sufficient food in a region that is already teeming with established predators and prey. The Amazon rainforest is an ecosystem of fierce competition, where every niche is occupied by specialized creatures that have honed their skills over millennia. For the tiger to become the dominant predator, it would need to not only survive but to outcompete local species for resources such as water, shelter, and food. Its large size and powerful build might allow it to take down significant prey. But the sheer abundance and diversity of potential competitors mean that every hunt would be a high-risk, high-reward gamble. The tiger's solitary nature, which has served it well in the wilds of Asia, might become a liability in the Amazon, where social predators like the jaguar often work in pairs or groups to corner and subdue prey. Overcoming this disadvantage would require the tiger to adapt its solitary hunting style to a more cooperative or at least opportunistic mode of foraging, an adaptation that could take generations to evolve. In a hypothetical scenario where a tiger is introduced into the Amazon, one of the key questions is whether it could establish itself as a new apex predator or if it would be relegated to the margins, constantly outmaneuvered by indigenous species. The concept of dominance in a complex ecosystem like the Amazon is not solely a matter of physical strength. It involves a deep interplay of behavioral adaptability, environmental awareness, and the ability to exploit niche opportunities. Native species like the jaguar, anaconda, and caiman have all developed specialized adaptations that allow them to thrive under the harsh conditions of the rainforest. For a tiger to not only survive but to become the dominant force, it would need to evolve similar adaptations, potentially developing a more versatile approach to movement in the water and on land, enhanced stealth mechanisms to deal with the dense foliage, and perhaps even a shift in its natural activity patterns to avoid direct competition with the existing predators. There is also the cultural and behavioral dimension to consider. In its native habitat, the tiger is a solitary, territorial creature that relies heavily on its individual strength and cunning. The Amazon, however, is a land where many species have evolved to operate both individually and in cooperative networks, forming intricate food webs and social hierarchies. If the tiger were to succeed in this new environment, it might undergo a significant behavioral transformation, gradually adopting traits that allow for more interaction with other predators, whether in terms of direct competition or opportunistic alliances. This could manifest as a shift toward a more flexible, opportunistic approach to survival, where the tiger learns to navigate the complexities of the Amazon's social structure. Such a transformation would be a profound example of evolutionary adaptation, illustrating the capacity of even the most solitary of creatures to change in response to environmental pressures. Field studies and anecdotal reports from various regions around the world suggest that tigers are more adaptable than we might have originally thought. While rare, there have been instances of tigers venturing into unfamiliar territories when pushed by factors such as habitat loss, human encroachment, or changes in prey availability. These isolated cases indicate that tigers possess an intrinsic drive to explore and exploit new environments, a trait that could, under the right circumstances, allow them to adapt to the challenges of the Amazon. However, the probability of a tiger successfully becoming the apex predator in such a biologically diverse and competitive ecosystem remains a subject of debate. The native species, each finely tuned to their specific niches, would undoubtedly mount a fierce resistance to any intruder attempting to upend the established order. In the end, the question of whether a tiger could dominate the Amazon rainforest hinges on a delicate balance between innate physical prowess and the ability to adapt to new, often hostile, environments. The tiger's raw strength, speed, and stealth are legendary, but they are products of evolution in a specific ecological context. Transplanting a tiger into the Amazon would not merely be a matter of relocation, it would be a radical test of its adaptability. Could its solitary, ambush-driven hunting techniques evolve to match the cooperative, Opportunistic strategies of the jaguar? Would its powerful build allow it to wrest control of waterholes and territories from species that have ruled these areas for millennia? Or would the environmental challenges, swampy terrains, high humidity, dense foliage, and fierce competition, prove insurmountable, relegating the tiger to the fringes of an ecosystem where it is perpetually outmatched? This hypothetical scenario is not just an exercise in imagination, it is a window into the complexities of adaptation and survival. The Amazon rainforest, with its labyrinth of rivers, towering trees, and vibrant, unpredictable life, represents one of the most challenging environments on Earth. The native predators have evolved under continuous pressure to refine their hunting strategies, optimize their physical capabilities, and develop intricate social behaviors that ensure their survival. For a tiger to break into this intricate web of life, it would need to overcome not only the physical challenges of the new terrain but also the deeply embedded behavioral patterns that have defined its existence for generations. The eventual outcome of such an encounter would likely depend on myriad factors, including the specific adaptations the tiger might develop over time, the resilience and competitiveness of the native species, and the dynamic interactions that arise from an ecosystem in constant flux. If the tiger were able to learn from its new environment, adapting its hunting tactics, modifying its behavior, and even forming unexpected alliances, it might carve out a niche for itself as a formidable predator. However, if the challenges of the swampy, dense Amazon proved too great, the tiger could find itself constantly outmaneuvered by the native jaguar, overwhelmed by the stealth of the anaconda, and threatened by the territorial instincts of the caiman. Ultimately, while the notion of a tiger dominating the Amazon rainforest is a captivating thought experiment, it serves to highlight the incredible diversity of life and the complex evolutionary dance that shapes predator-prey relationships. The tiger's legendary power and agility, honed in the forests of Asia, are awe-inspiring in their own right, but they are not necessarily designed for the unique challenges of the Amazon. As we explore this wild hypothetical, we are reminded of the delicate balance that governs nature, a balance that has been maintained for millennia through the interplay of adaptation, competition, and the sheer, relentless drive to survive. In summary, while a tiger might possess the raw physical attributes needed to compete in the Amazon, the environment's dense, swampy terrain, the established dominance of native predators like the jaguar, anaconda, and caiman, and the challenges of adapting its solitary hunting strategies to a cooperative ecosystem all combine to create an uphill battle for any newcomer. The question remains, could a tiger truly become the apex predator in the Amazon? Or would it be forever outmatched by species that have evolved to thrive in every corner of this extraordinary rainforest? The answer, as with many mysteries of nature, is as complex as it is intriguing, a testament to the endless adaptability and fierce competition that defines the wild.